Welcome to the Black Parade, where we're going under with good things. Hey everyone, Brendan the Blind Guy here, and welcome to the Boombox. Just give me that! Boom, boom, boom. Just give me that! Boom, boom. Just give me Heaps to cover today, but I want to start first by saying don't forget to press like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a boom. But today we're going to be covering Good Things Festival, my predictions for it, as well as some co-headlining shows that have been popping up. But first, let's get into my Good Things Festival prediction. Okay, so for Good Things Festival 2026, I highly suspect My Chemical Romance will be the #1 headliner. Now, this is because, well, A, they would be a perfect headliner at Good Things Festival, absolutely perfect. And they have been touring from the, I think, 20th anniversary of the Black Parade. The reason why I think My Chemical Romance is the most probable headliner for Good Things Festival is they will be near Australia in November, the week before Good Things Festival, and they are free the week of Good Things Festival. So like generally when artists like go to places like Asia and Indonesia, that kind of means we're the next stop here in Australia. So let me know what you think. Apart from My Chemical Romance, I do think Evanescence will be there too. I think as a co-headliner, because last year we had Tool and Weezer and Garbage as the three big headliners. So Tool and Weezer were two massive draw cards. So I wouldn't put it past Good Things Festival to be able to pull in both My Chemical Romance and Evanescence, which I think would be absolutely incredible. And again, Evanescence are playing in Malaysia the week before Good Things Festival and are free, and have been teasing that they will be soon announcing an Australian tour. So this could work out really good timing that Evanescence will do a sneaky drop that, surprise, they're playing at Good Things Festival. I don't know, what do you think? Okay, apart from the top two big headliners for Good Things Festival, I think the Amity Affliction is a very possible candidate for the lineup. Even though they're doing a one-off show at the Sydney Opera House forecourt in December, about a week after Good Things Festival, that's a one-off show for that tour. And I do really think that they would be suitable and appropriate at Good Things Festival, especially since recently releasing a new album, the first without clean vocalist Aaron Stringer. So yeah, apart from the Amity Affliction, I believe my absolute favourite band, apart from Linkin Park, being Halestorm. I think that they're quite likely to be a co-headliner at Good Things Festival, which I'm kind of in two minds about that. Because, of course, I want to see Halestorm as much as possible, and if they do play at Good Things Festival, they better also do a Sydney sideshow. They better. But at the same time, it's like, don't make it so I have to go to Good Things Festival, spend that money, and like, festivals for a blind person that needs to be at the front of the barrier to actually enjoy it properly, it's very, very difficult and unrealistic at a festival. But still, I'll take what I can get. But apart from Halestorm, the Amity Affliction, My Chemical Romance, and Evanescence, I do think that we could see Hands Like Houses because they've been active. I recently saw them at Manning Bar in Sydney for the Lotus tour. So that's likely, and you know, they are releasing more stuff all the time. Sydney's alternative rock group RedHook, which have been at basically every second Good Things Festival, they're working on album number 3, so I think it's a given that they will be at Good Things Festival this year. I also think Epica from Finland, actually no, not Finland, the Netherlands, Finland, that part of Europe, sorry. Anyway, I think Epica are quite likely because previously Good Things Festival have loved to get European symphonic metal bands, and Epica hasn't performed there and have been releasing and are about to release more music. So yeah, I think Epica is quite likely. I think we could also possibly see the All American Rejects, as they were supposed to play it last year but had to cancel at the last minute. And finally, for my Good Things Festival prediction, I actually think Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder as a soloist is pretty likely, because there have been some rock icon soloists in previous years at Good Things Festival, including Corey Taylor from Slipknot. And Eddie Vedder has been on his own solo album tour recently, so he could be a good fit for Good Things Festival. Oh, and how could I nearly forget? I do believe Eskimo Joe is a likely candidate, because Eskimo Joe have been on tour celebrating the 20th anniversary of their biggest album, Black Fingernails Red Wine. And in previous years at Good Things Festival, we've seen similar Aussie rock bands from that era, including Jet, Killing Heidi, and The Living End. So I think Eskimo Joe would fit perfectly. Also, I am a bit concerned as to if Good Things Festival can actually come back in December. Now, I know late last year, Good Things Festival did confirm that they'll be back for 2026, but that was before the war in Iran really broke out and the cost of travel and petrol just went through the roof. So that has been affecting tours coming out. So I'm a little bit worried if the promoters of Good Things Festival are going to actually be able to afford to bring these international artists to a festival, full stop, or if they can, if they're gonna have to like double the already enormous ticket price, which who would come if you've got to pay $400 plus for a ticket? Like, it wouldn't happen. On another note, until previously, we really thought that Trivium were going to be a likely candidate for Good Things Festival, as they have been teasing an upcoming Australian tour. They have played at Good Things Festival previously, so they seemed pretty likely. But recently, they announced a massive co-headline tour with Lamb of God. And so that's another pretty damn awesome co-headline tour that's coming out. And I was actually thinking recently of like let's say 10 years ago, I'd see all of these amazing co-headline tours in America and the UK, and I would go, wow, if only we got these amazing tours here in Australia, like why can't they bring them out? You know, so in the past like 5 years or so, we've had co-headline tours like Red Hot Chili Peppers and Post Malone. We've had Motley Crue and Def Leppard and Live and Incubus. So they're pretty awesome. But that's like 3 co-headline tours in the past like 5 years or so. But in this year alone, even though it wasn't a co-headline tour as such, we had Ocean Alley with Nothing But Thieves in January, which I think that was a co-headline show. Even though it wasn't labelled as one, it basically was, I think. Plus the same thing in February with Good Charlotte and Yellowcard. Again, not a formal co-headlining show, but it was not far off it. But then moving forward, we had the actual co-headlining show with Papa Roach and A Day to Remember with special guests Landmarks in April for the Big Rock Tour. Then we've also had very recently Deftones with Interpol. Again, not a co-headline tour, but still pretty amazing. But in actual upcoming co-headline tours, we've got Shinedown and Bush in September, which is amazing. I can't wait for that. Plus the Trivium and Lamb of God. And I'm thinking, wow, why are these co-headline shows popping up more often? And I was talking to my friend about it, and we reckon it's probably because of 2 very important points. The first being that given the price of tickets for people to purchase now, people were probably more likely to spend $200 or $250, $300 on a concert if it's 2 big bands performing rather than just one. So more likely to sell tickets that way. But also I thought that it's kind of like carpooling the travel expenses. Instead of touring companies spending all of this money to bring, say, Shinedown out with those tour logistics for hiring arenas and all of the production and marketing and everything, plus then doing it again, all over again for Bush, doubling up essentially with all of the expenses, why not bring those 2 together? So it's kind of a bit of a twofold, saving money for the touring side of things, I think, and more likely to sell tickets because it's more appealing for fans. What do you think? So next time, I was hoping to cover it today, but we've run out of time. Next time we'll be covering the phenomena that is the Blue Dot Fever, so stick around for that. And thanks heaps for watching. Don't forget, again, keep liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing so you never miss a boom. And until next time, keep a keen eye for concerts and bring on the boom. Just give me